What's up, gearheads and film buffs? Welcome back to Cinebuster. Today we're going on a treasure hunt for Hollywood's most famous missing vehicles. 10 iconic movie cars that vanished without a trace. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and now, lights, camera, action. Car number 1. Let's start with one of the most heartbreaking losses in automotive cinema history. 5 Alpine White 1970 Dodge Challenger RTs were used to film Vanishing Point, that legendary counterculture chase film where Kowalski races from Denver to San Francisco in under 15 hours. 4 had 440 Magnum engines with 4-speed manuals. 1 had a 383 with an automatic for the really crazy stunts. But bone stock, the movie became a cult classic, Steven Spielberg's favorite film, and an inspiration for Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. So, what happened to these legendary Challengers? Chrysler was furious. The studio had rented the cars for $1 per day. But when executives saw the finished film featuring amphetamine-fueled driving and interstate police chases, they were livid. Chrysler took all 5 Challengers back after filming wrapped and sent them straight to the crusher. Director Richard Sarafian later confirmed that every single car was destroyed. A reliable source at a 1971 salvage auction in Los Angeles witnessed all 5 sold for scrap, gone forever. The cars weren't well suited for high-speed running with their 4.10-to-1 sure grip differentials, so cameras were under-cranked to create the illusion of speed. Barry Newman, who played Kowalski, said the 440 big block Mopar was almost too powerful for the body. You'd touch the gas and those skinny tires would light up. Today, the only way to experience a screen-used Vanishing Point Challenger is through the 1997 TV remake, where all 5 cars were saved by Ted Stevens of Stevens Performance in Alabama. But the originals, they vanished like Kowalski himself. Car number 2. This one's tragic on a Titanic level, because it literally shares that fate. The Chrysler Norseman was a revolutionary 4-seat fastback coupe concept car featuring a cantilevered roof with no center support. Basically a hardtop without pillars, which was insane for 1956. Chrysler sent the car to Italian coach builder Ghia for construction. And after 15 months of painstaking work, it was finished and ready for its American debut. On July 25, 1956, the Norseman was loaded onto the SS Andrea Doria, a luxury transatlantic ocean liner with over 100 successful crossings under its belt. But that night, tragedy struck. The ship collided with another vessel and sank off the coast of Nantucket, Massachusetts. 51 passengers died, and the Chrysler Norseman went down with the ship, settling at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean where it remains today. Several unsuccessful attempts have been made to retrieve it, but the wreckage site is too dangerous, and the car is likely crushed under tons of debris. The Norseman never appeared in a traditional movie, but its story is more dramatic than most Hollywood scripts. Car number 3. Thunder Road is a 1958 cult classic black and white crime drama about moonshiners starring Robert Mitchum. The film features several period-correct American cars, including a 1949 Oldsmobile 88 and a 1957 Ford Fairlane 500. But the star is a modified 1950 51 Ford used in the opening car chase. Here's where it gets interesting. The dialogue refers to it as a 50, but it's actually a 51 model. Even better, this wasn't some Hollywood prop. It was allegedly a real moonshine runner car purchased from actual North Carolina moonshiners for the production. The car appeared in the film exactly as bought from the moonshiner, minus a fresh paint job. That's authenticity you can't manufacture. After filming Wrapped, this genuine piece of bootlegging history disappeared completely. No records exist of what happened to it. Did it get sold back to moonshiners? Scrapped? Stashed in a barn somewhere? Nobody knows. considering this was a real working moonshine car with legitimate outlaw history, it's worth far more than just movie memorabilia value. Somewhere out there might be a barn hiding one of America's genuine outlaw vehicles, or it was crushed decades ago and melted down for scrap. Either way, Thunder Road's Moonshine Ford has never been found, making it one of the holy grails for car collectors who appreciate both cinema and criminal history.
U.S. Treasury.
Car number 4. In the 1950s, General Motors became obsessed with dream cars, wild concept vehicles designed purely to capture public imagination. Among these were 3 particularly appetizing Buick concepts: the Wildcat 1, Wildcat 2, and Wildcat 3. The Wildcat 1 and 2 were showstoppers, featuring contrasting white and black paint schemes that made them instantly recognizable at auto shows across America. The Wildcat 3 allegedly wore green paint, though these claims remain unverified because nobody's seen the damn thing in decades. Here's the problem. Back then, concept cars were supposed to be crushed immediately after their show duties ended. Manufacturers didn't want experimental designs falling into competitors' hands or confusing consumers. The white Wildcat 1 is confirmed destroyed. The black Wildcat 2, however, has a more mysterious fate. Rumors persist that it was spotted in the garage of a GM employee who resurrected it from the crusher. But despite photos surfacing occasionally, nothing concrete has emerged. The green Wildcat 3, completely MIA. These weren't movie cars in the traditional sense, but they appeared in promotional films and newsreels throughout the 1950s, making them part of cinema history. The surviving photos show cars so beautiful that enthusiasts still hunt for them today. But after 7 decades, if these Wildcats haven't surfaced, they're probably gone forever. Sometimes the most beautiful cars are the ones we'll never see again. Car number 5. James Dean's iconic red 1949 Mercury from Rebel Without a Cause became synonymous with teenage rebellion and 1950s cool. Dean's character, Jim Stark, races this chopped and customized Merc in the famous Chicky Run cliff scene, one of cinema's most memorable sequences. After filming Wrapped, the car disappeared into Hollywood's prop system and was never definitively accounted for. Here's where it gets murky. Several Mercs claim to be the car from the film, but authentication is nearly impossible. Warner Brothers didn't keep detailed records of prop cars in the 1950s, and multiple 49 Mercs were used for different scenes. Some believe the hero car was returned to its owner and later sold, passing through collectors who didn't realize what they had. Others think it was modified beyond recognition or scrapped when customization tastes changed. The most heartbreaking theory? It was just another used car that got driven into the ground and junked. James Dean died in September 1955, just weeks after Rebel premiered, adding tragic mystique to everything associated with him. His death car, the Porsche 550 Spider, nicknamed Little Bastard, also vanished mysteriously while on tour, fueling conspiracy theories about cursed vehicles. But the Mercury? It's out there somewhere, or it was, or it's been crushed. Without definitive proof, this iconic movie car remains one of Hollywood's most frustrating mysteries. Car number 6. Wait, you're thinking, doesn't the Interceptor from Mad Max still exist? Yes and no. Several Falcons were used during filming of the original Mad Max. And while some survived, the original hero car, the first Pursuit Special built for filming, has a murky history. The Australian-made Ford Falcon XB GT Coupe, powered by a 351 cubic inch V8, was transformed into the iconic Interceptor with a custom nose, massive flares, fat tires, and that fake supercharger sticking through the hood. The centerpiece was the switch-activated blower that supposedly boosted power, except it was purely cosmetic, not functional. Multiple Falcons were used for stunts, close-ups, and driving scenes. After filming, these cars scattered. One confirmed hero car now resides in a museum, but automotive historians debate whether it's the original first car or a secondary vehicle. The very first Interceptor built for production reportedly was sold or traded and disappeared into the Australian car scene. Given that Mad Max was a low-budget film shot guerrilla style on public roads, nobody kept careful records. Some believe the original was heavily modified after filming, making it unrecognizable. Others think it was wrecked or parted out. The mystique around the Interceptor is that it wasn't some Hollywood fantasy. It was a real car you could theoretically build yourself, which inspired countless tributes, but finding the genuine article, that's harder than surviving the apocalypse. Before we continue hunting for Hollywood's lost treasures, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. If you're enjoying this automotive archaeology, you'll love our other deep dives into cinema history. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Now, back to the chase. Car number 7. Yes, we know, one of the Bullitt Mustangs was found in 2018 after hiding in a Kentucky barn for decades, and it made headlines worldwide. But 2 Highland Green 1968 Mustang GT fastbacks were used in Bullitt, and the second one has never been found. The hero car chassis 8R02S1255558 surfaced at the 2018 Detroit Auto Show and sold at Mecum Auctions in 2020 for $3.74 million. But its stunt double used for jumps and crashes during the legendary San Francisco chase scene vanished completely after filming. Warner Brothers claims it was scrapped, but no documentation exists proving its fate. Some enthusiasts believe the stunt car was so badly damaged from those iconic jumps, catching air off San Francisco's hills at high speed, that it was immediately junked. Others think it might have been rebuilt and sold as a regular Mustang, with nobody realizing its pedigree. Steve McQueen himself tried buying the hero car from owner Bob Kiernan in the 1970s incessantly, but was politely refused every single time. There's a letter the family received from McQueen which is worth a read. If McQueen wanted it that badly, you know it's special. The found Mustang's authenticity was verified through frame numbers and documentation, but the missing stunt car likely doesn't have that paperwork. It could be sitting in someone's garage right now, masquerading as just another 68 fastback, or it was crushed 50 years ago. Either way, half of cinema's greatest car chase lives only in film footage. Some mysteries stay unsolved. Car number 8. American Graffiti features multiple iconic cars, the 58 Impala, the 56 T-Bird, but the most legendary is John Milner's yellow 1932 Ford Deuce Coupe. This hot rod, driven by Paul Le Mat's character, became the symbol of American hot rod culture and inspired thousands of enthusiasts to build their own tribute cars. Multiple 32 Fords were used during production, and while some claim to be the car, authentication is problematic. George Lucas's production company didn't maintain detailed prop records, and the cars were rented from private owners. After filming, they returned to the California hot rod scene and were likely modified, sold, and modified again. That's what hot rodders do. One Deuce claims to be the hero car and sits in a museum, but skeptics question its provenance. The paperwork doesn't definitively prove it's the screen-used vehicle. Other 32s have surfaced claiming graffiti heritage, but without concrete evidence, it's all speculation. The real tragedy? The cars might exist, but we'll never know for certain which one is authentic. Hot rods are meant to be endlessly modified, which destroys historical documentation. American Graffiti made the 32 Ford the ultimate American hot rod, but ironically, we can't find the car that started the craze. Where were you in '73? Hopefully not losing track of valuable movie cars. Car number 9. Over 20 Plymouths were used in John Carpenter's killer car horror film, including genuine 1958 Furies, 1957 Belvederes, and 1958 Savoys modified to look like Furies. Here's the plot twist. We actually know what happened to most of the Christines, but one has gone missing. Most were destroyed during filming's violent sequences. After production wrapped, the surviving cars were sold off or given away. One genuine Fury was raffled off and eventually landed in the Rochester Auto Museum in New York, where it remains today. But here's the thing. Automotive historians disagree on the exact number of cars used, and at least one is unaccounted for. Some claim 23 cars, others say 24 or 27. That discrepancy means at least one Christine is MIA. Given the film's subject matter, a demonic possessed car that kills people, some jokingly wonder if it's still out there, lurking, waiting. More realistically, it probably got sold as a parts car or sat in someone's yard until it was scrapped. The cars that survived are jealously guarded by collectors who appreciate Stephen King's twisted automotive horror tale. But that missing Plymouth, it could be anywhere or nowhere. Maybe Christine doesn't want to be found. Maybe she's out there on some lonely highway at night, looking for her next victim. Or maybe she's just rust and memories. Car number 10. Disney's The Love Bug introduced the world to Herbie, the sentient Volkswagen Beetle with a mind of his own and a heart of gold. The film used approximately 26 Beetles during production, each assigned different roles: hero car for close-ups, stunt cars for crashes, racing cars for track scenes. After filming, these cars scattered to the winds. Some were destroyed during stunts, others sold off by Disney to save storage costs. Here's the problem. Which one was the original? The first Herbie? Disney's records are frustratingly vague. Several Beetles claim to be authentic Herbies, complete with the racing number 53, red, white, blue stripes, and that distinctive personality. Some reside in museums, others in private collections, but authentication is nearly impossible without Disney's original documentation, which apparently doesn't exist or was lost decades ago. One confirmed Herbie sold at auction in 2015 for over $100,000, but even that car's provenance is debated. The Love Bug spawned multiple sequels, each using new Beetles, further muddying the waters. The very first Herbie, the one that started the franchise and captured hearts in 1968, has never been definitively identified. It might be sitting in a museum right now, mislabeled as just another movie car. Or it could have been sold as a used VW and driven into oblivion, with nobody realizing they owned cinema history. And there you have it, 10 famous movie cars from 1950 to 1990 that vanished without a trace, leaving behind only film footage and frustrated collectors wondering, what if? If we left any out, be sure to let us know.